right, so the Biden book, Original Sin, is finally out, and so are the reviews. According to Politico, it describes Biden as a, quote, ailing geriatric leader surrounded by mendacious aides. While the Washington Post details an elderly, egotistical president shielded from reality by a slavish coterie of loyalists. Never said that word before. So ailing, mendacious, egotistical, and that's from media outlets that spent 4 years smooching Biden's wrinkly ass. They were so far up his butt, I'm surprised they didn't diagnose the cancer. Thank you. Enough. But does this book tell the whole story? Because even as the media is just now admitting this scandal was real, we know they're complicit. They took their own sweet time addressing the greatest fraud in presidential history, waiting till now, of course, to spill the beans. Oh, sure, the media could have made an honest mistake, like when they said Hunter's laptop was fake, or the Fine People hoax was real, or that Tim Walz has a penis. But what if the Biden cover-up was by design, orchestrated to protect not the president, but to enable a radical agenda? Anyone could tell Joe was feeble. But what if Biden's decline wasn't caused by disability, but by debility, meaning he was purposely kept exhausted, confused, and miserable, like an overnight shift worker or a Fox and Friends viewer? He was unfit, but it wasn't treated, it was welcomed. Speeches, events, and overseas trips took their toll on Biden. He became unable to function, while his staff controlled his schedule to protect him. Or so we thought. They could have easily told the world, hey, this guy's no longer the man he used to be. Let's practice what we preach, country over party. Instead, they treated him like Colonel Tom Parker treated Elvis. Kept him full of meds and continued to push him out in front of live audiences and bright lights. The only difference being when Elvis forgot the words to Hound Dog, it didn't endanger the lives of everybody in the audience. Letting Joe fade was the perfect crime because his condition made him docile. It's like when you exhaust your dog with a long walk before you have guests over. I don't want Gus humping Dana Perino's leg. Or for that matter, vice versa. So the story isn't just the cover-up of Joe's incapacity, it's why. And yes, they didn't want America to know they pulled a giant horrible prank on them in 2020, and they also didn't want to get massacred in 2024. But the fact is, a debilitated Biden was an ideal Biden. An enfeebled boss meant the underlings could do exactly what they wanted. I'm certain that's why my staffers insist I eat an entire turkey for dinner and then make me watch Special Report. But it solves the paradox of the last 4 years. How did a candidate promoted as a reasonable centrist end up as the most radically progressive president in history? The one who let our border dissolve, crime explode, and men invade women's spaces. It's simple. His debility was not a bug in the system. It was the system. An absent president meant others had control of the reins, and the signs are there, like the absurd number of people granted clemency or the orgy of auto-penned EOs. What, you think they nail-gunned the auto-pen to Joe's hand while he was out like a light dreaming of corn pop and cannibals? So now they want to talk about Biden's health? Sorry, the jig is up. They can't pretend they're compassionate caregivers protecting a fragile leader when we now know how the policies under Joe were anything but feeble. Biden was a mess, but the policies were a coherent wish list for the woke. The freaks running the show knew exactly what they were doing. Sure, their decisions were horrible and destructive, but they were also deliberate and no product of dementia, which makes it way worse than criminal. It's treason. They exploited an unhealthy elderly man, and we can't let them get away with it. So yeah, it's tragic Joe has cancer, but the people who propped him up for 4 years, they are a cancer. And it's time they got the treatment they deserve.
Let's welcome